Hello, and welcome back to Queens of the Paddock, an F1 podcast. My name is Alex,
And I'm Courtney.
and we are back again today with a Miami Grand Prix preview.
Woo woo!
We're so excited. So
Yes.
I will be heading out there tomorrow,
I know.
first thing
Alex
in the morning.
got to get all her stuff packed
I
and
know.
ready, Ferrari gear.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to see all the posts.
Okay, I have to send you. So I tried on outfits yesterday and I made like a little, I'll send you a screenshot of it. Like I kind of want to send it to you right now so you can, so you can react to this because it's literally unhinged. But I found a way that you can like add a picture of yourself like to a notes app. And so I put all my outfits on. You'll see. Hold on, I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, so it's got my agenda and all of my outfits so I can stay organized. Do you see it?
Oh my gosh, this is great. And Sunday, are you like indecisive on
Yeah,
what you want to wear?
Sunday I'm indecisive, so I have two options. Just depend because the first option it doesn't look good with sneakers, so I would have to wear sandals, but I just like don't think that that's gonna be okay because it's like a lot of walking.
Yeah.
So I got to see what state my feet are in. So I have two options there. But as you can see, everything is 100% Ferrari, 100% red, black, white,
Cute.
a little bit of yellow. That's the vibes. We're ready.
Nice. I can't wait to see all the posts and
Yeah.
all the videos. So
I know. I'm so excited. It'll be fun. But yeah, I still have to pack all of that. I know what I'm doing. I just need to like arrange it all. So still a lot of work to do, but we had to do our little preview episode. Okay, so I have some new stuff, then we'll do the preview, and then kind of just talk about Miami in general and all of that. So kind of my home, I wouldn't say city. I mean, I guess like I said before in our first episode when we were talking about Logan Sargent, like I claim South Florida as a whole is my hometown. So
yeah.
it's part of my hometown.
Oh yeah. I think it's fair enough.
Yes. But okay, so in news, we forgot to mention this last episode, but Gunther Steiner, his book's out.
Oh, I know.
We need book club time. Like we have to get this book, and then apparently
Maybe during summer break.
Yes, that's a perfect time for it. Okay.
Yes.
On the to-do list. But the audio version of the book is narrated by him.
Oh my Lord.
So we need the audio version because I need to hear his voice reading this out to me. For sure.
Sorry, I'm on Amazon right now.
Are you buying it?
Yeah.
Courtney's like, add to cart now.
Wait,
Send it to me.
I know. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. Okay, keep going. I'm going to find it.
Okay. So that is a piece of news. We're excited about that. Also, I found out this week that Lewis Hamilton is an investor in a vegan burger chain called Meat Burger that I didn't know about.
Is this like a Beyond Meat kind of thing?
They're vegan burgers. So like I'm not entirely sure what they're made of, but probably something along the lines of that because he's vegan. So Lewis's Neat Burger locations, they have several locations like in London or around London and like Great Britain, but they just opened a location in New York City. So their first American spot. But he's an investor in this, as well as Leonardo DiCaprio is also an investor in this Neat Burger. So I thought that was interesting. And I looked at their website and they have like franchise opportunities. So if anybody out there wants to get into business with Lewis Hamilton on a vegan burger spot, your opportunity is just waiting for you. Yeah. Yeah, but so interesting there. Also, we did not talk about Charles Leclerc's musical career that is just starting off.
I know. You sent me that video, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Okay, so the song is actually really like beautiful, and I was like, oh my god, this is so nice. Like, he apparently composed the whole thing. It's him playing the piano. There's no vocals. And it was charting in the top 10 on iTunes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to have to like add in a little excerpt of a piece of it then.
I will. And okay, so I came across people on, they were commenting on it, and I was like just reading the comments, and somebody said that the song sounds very similar to the Interstellar like soundtrack song, theme song, which I had never heard.
Yeah, but you might have to be careful because Ed Sheeran is actually being sued right now.
That's
for
right.
all of that because it sounds similar to other songs. So
right. And I hate to say it, so I after I listened to his song, I went and I listened to this Interstellar song because I was just curious, like, how similar does it sound? And it sounds pretty damn similar. I know.
Oh, no.
I'm like, please don't come from our boy.
I
He didn't
know.
mean to.
But surely before he released it, like, someone did some type of vetting.
I know, but it sounds really similar. But here's my thing, like, knowing him, he didn't do it on purpose. Like, he probably heard that song and he was like, oh, that sounds nice. I'm inspired. Like, I'm going to play something on my piano.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
I don't know. Hopefully nothing comes of that. But he announced, I think yesterday, that he's coming out already with another song.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we're going to get another song. Maybe we'll get an album soon.
That'd be fun.
He's going to win a Grammy. Prediction.
An F1 driver / Grammy
He will
winner.
be the first F1 driver to also be a Grammy winner.
Oh my goodness.
I'm predicting it now. Okay. Daniel Ricciardo was at the Met Gala
I saw
on Monday
that.
night. And I was like, okay, so I subjected Dustin to watching like the whole red carpet of the Met Gala because I was trying to get a glimpse of Daniel Ricciardo. And we did not see him on this like broadcast that we were watching. And the broadcast we were watching, I think it was Vogue. It was so painfully like cringy. Like they were, I don't know. It was like unpreparedness. Like they kept on switching from announcer to announcer and it was like really awkward. Anyways, but did not see him on there, but then was able to find some photos of him on the internet afterwards. And he was there. He was wearing Tom Brown. It looked really good. So good for him.
Yeah.
I was happy for him.
I mean,
that he got to go.
might
It's
as
exciting.
well. Oh, yeah.
And he was like,
I mean, if
he
I
was
got
like
tickets, I would go.
fangirling. Yeah, absolutely. He was like fangirling over Anne Hathaway.
Oh, I know. From what's
Princess Diaries.
Princess
Yeah.
Diaries. Devil
and
Devil
Wears
Prada.
Devil Wears Prada. Yeah, so I thought that was really cute. Okay, also Toto Wolff has been named an executive fellow at the Harvard Business School, and he's going to be giving lectures to MBA students speaking about leadership and organizational culture.
On the reg or?
Yeah. Like, I guess
Ooh.
pretty regularly.
That's
So
kinda cool.
he's like a fellow for them, that's cool. Like, sign me up.
Oh,
I would
I know.
go take his class.
I wonder if they'll record some of them and we can
Put him
kinda watch
online or
them.
something. I would love
Kind of like
that.
TED Talk.
Yeah, they should. They absolutely should, because I would love to hear him like a lecture on that topic. So interesting. Okay, also just a few little tidbits on the WAGs. I feel like they've been pretty quiet. Like, we haven't had anything crazy, but Kevin's wife is pregnant. She announced she's pregnant with their second child.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so baby Laura, I think it is, because his wife's name is Louise and his daughter's name is Laura. So they'll be getting another sibling here pretty soon, which is like, she is so cute.
Them.
Yeah, absolutely. She's the cutest little baby. I'm like, oh my God, another little blonde little baby.
Finnish
So cute.
or like Scantic. Because he's he's not Dutch. He's
I think he's Finnish.
Yeah, Finnish or Dutch, one of the two. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, little Scandinavian. Little
Mm-hmm.
Scandinavian child. They're so cute. Um, but also, okay, so whenever we mention Kelly PK,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to get some people that are like, don't talk bad about Kelly PK.
Well, yeah, because they're all Max fans.
Right. But I have to mention this because I thought it was really funny. So Kelly PK was in New York City this week, like this past week, over the weekend, with her daughter ahead of the Met Gala. She wasn't at the Met Gala, but she went to some like pre-Met Gala event type things.
Mm-hmm.
And people on the internet were saying that it looked like she hired paparazzi photographers to follow her around and take like staged paparazzi photos.
Oh, gosh.
And she had posted these on her like Instagram, and then a bunch of people were talking about it and being like, that's staged, like, oh my gosh, you got them to come. I mean, the lighting's impeccable, her face looks amazing, gorgeous, beautiful, her hair looks amazing, makeup amazing, like her poses, there's no way that these are not posed photos. So people were talking about that, and then she deleted them off of her feed, but I have the receipts.
What?
Well, like I have the pictures still, like they're still on the internet, but she deleted them off of her Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I guess people were commenting saying like,
yeah. Kind of talking trash.
Yeah. So just interesting, just funny, just wanted to throw it out there. But that's all I've got for news as far as right now. Oh, you're fine. But okay, so let's get into the Miami race. And I also want to say, I think that we'll get a lot of, because the WAGs haven't really been at like these races so far. Like there's been a couple here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bottas's girlfriend was in Azerbaijan, and I literally think that's the only one that we saw.
I feel like they were there for like the first race.
They
and then
were.
Australia, and then they've kind of dropped off maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna get a lot of them in Miami. I feel like they're gonna come out. I feel like they're going to be like, let's go. It's Miami. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're going to be there. So, eyes will be peeled. I'm bringing my little microphone so I can give updates.
Updates. Nice. We'll have live race footage.
Yes, we're going to try. But okay, so this is round 5 of the season. Obviously this weekend, Cinco de Mayo kicks off the action on Friday, and then obviously Saturday, Sunday, and the track is called the Miami International Autodrome. Mm-hmm. So the first Grand Prix was held here last year, so this is only the second year that they're doing it.
Yep, but they have a 10-year contract.
I think hopefully they'll continue to improve the track like as that time period goes along. But the track is inside of the Hard Rock Stadium complex. So it doesn't actually go through the stadium, but it goes right around it. And then it's mainly built up in the parking lot of that stadium. Mm-hmm. And there are some pieces of the track that go onto the turnpike, like highway that's there. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting and cool and fun, but it has a very much of like a, even though it's not a street race, it's built to be, like a street race. I thought it was.
Yeah. Did you know that track is actually the second location?
Yes. Yeah. Because it was supposed to be downtown.
Well, it was supposed to be downtown and then going through the port.
Oh, yeah.
The Miami port. But then there was issues with construction and things like that going on in the port, and they couldn't do that. And actually, in the original design at the port, they were going to create like this underground tunnel and then use the other tunnel system that's at the port to like be
connect
part of the
it.
race.
That would have been really interesting.
Yeah. And actually, like in downtown and like by the port and stuff like that, Formula E and like some of the other kind of rounds of Formula One have actually happened there.
Taken place there. Yeah. No, that would have been really interesting. I would love to see like a race like that with like tunnels and stuff. Like how cool.
Oh yeah, like all tunnels. I mean, Monte Carlo is like that, and it's awesome seeing them come out of that tunnel.
Right.
But yeah, so originally that was the plan, but then all of the residents there didn't like it.
They were like, no.
So they actually shot it down. And then the current design, I think, is the third or the fourth iteration in that area for the same reason. They were trying to figure out how to not make it so intrusive on the local population.
The area around it. Yeah. No, because, okay, so we went last year, and I'll get into some more of that in a little bit, but like it is really close to a neighborhood. Like it's literally right there. Like there was people, their houses are situated like right across the street pretty much, and they were offering like people to park in their yards and stuff because it's that close. But yeah, I mean, there's houses like literally right there. It's very close. And so,
Crazy.
Okay, to your points you were talking about, there is a documentary about the planning and like how they built this whole track and everything for last year's race, the first one.
Oh.
And that documentary, it's about 30 minutes long. I would definitely recommend to watch. It's super interesting. Like they talk about all of the planning stages and like what it takes to build this track and like all of the different things down to like putting up the tents and doing all of the hospitality areas and everything. So I thought it was a really cool.
Is this on Netflix?
No, it was on YouTube.
Okay.
I'll include the link on here. So last year when we went, they had kind of teased the documentary and they were like, oh, the documentary is coming soon. And then like I never heard anything about it again. And it popped up on my YouTube like recommended probably a week ago.
Okay.
And so we sat down and watched it, and it's a quick watch. It's like I said, about 30 minutes, but it was really interesting.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely
what was
recommend.
also crazy to me is I didn't know is that the original plan was the first year of the race was supposed to be 2019. But they couldn't figure out like all the designs, and so then they just like kept getting it pushed, you know? Yeah.
So they talk about that in this documentary. I think they first started talking like in talks with F1 to put a race in Miami in like 2016 or 2017. Like, it was a while back until they finally got it to happen.
Kind of stick. I was also going to say, did you know that this wasn't the first Formula One championship in the state of Florida?
Was the other one in Daytona?
In Sebring, Florida.
Oh, okay.
In 1959.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was actually like the season finale that year, and so I guess that was the first race in Florida. And then Bruce McLaren at the time had his first F1 win while being a driver, and he marked being the youngest driver at the time. He was 22 years old in like 3 months, and he held that from 1959 all the way till 2003, and when Fernando Alonso actually in Hungary took over, and he was 22 years old and like no months.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he held it for like a long time being the youngest driver.
That is a long time.
Yeah. And it happened in Florida.
Nice. Interesting. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Just a tidbit.
I love it. No, it's like, again, there's so much history of just different things that like there's so much to learn.
Oh yeah.
So much to absorb. Just all day, every day. But okay, so the track has 19 corners, 3 straights, and 3 DRS zones. And then like I talked about earlier with the part of the track that goes over the exit ramp, there's different elevation changes throughout the track too. So anyways, just a street track kind of vibe. The vibe. Oh, go ahead.
I also read that Lewis Hamilton saw the original iteration of the circuit in the port, and he was like, didn't like it. He thought that they could do better. And he said that this was one of his favorite kind of designs track-wise.
I like the way that it looks. And like to me, so last year, a lot of the complaints were around the track surface,
Mm-hmm.
that it wasn't ideal for them. And so they've gone in and resurfaced the track. So it'll be interesting to see what they say about it now that it's been resurfaced. But that was the main complaint. I think for the most part, most of the drivers liked the arrangement and the setup of the track and the fact that it's kind of like a street circuit, but they just didn't like the surface.
Yeah. I mean, and
So.
that's the hard thing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even the permanent tracks, think about like I think Canada, some of those other ones, like same kind of issue, I would say.
Yeah, and like it's so interesting because like you're never gonna, it's like it can't be perfect, you know, like I don't know what's like a perfect one, or I don't know, because there's always something you can do to improve it.
Oh, 1,000%. And you have to think about it over time, like those surfaces just in general wear down.
Yeah.
Even like if no one's driving on them, weather wears them down. Especially like in Canada, that's their big issue is like the ice and everything like that, you know,
melting
falls,
and
melts, freezes, all of that expands, and then you have so many issues with the road. Okay, so you said that there's 19 turns, 3 DRS zones, 3 straightaways.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 57 laps, right?
57 laps. Yeah. And so
91 miles.
Right. Mm-hmm. In each lap is about 3.3 miles. Yep. And Max has the lap record from this past year.
Oh, yes, he does.
Which is about a minute 31.361.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But Charles was like right behind there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully he does well this weekend.
Hopefully.
But okay, so outside of like the actual track, the hospitality areas around this track are pretty insane. There is a whole like marina, but it has fake water.
Fake beach.
Yes. So, well, the beach actually has sand, but it's not obviously a beach. And that whole area is like a beach club. Mm-hmm. So if you get tickets in there, there's different DJs, different concerts going on throughout the day, and there's like a big stage.
The big question, would you get in the pool?
Personally, I wouldn't plan to get in the pool, but I feel like I would probably end up in the pool, realistically. Personally.
I don't know if I could do it with all the germs.
I know. Because, like, and the pool is not that large. And there's a bunch of people, but, like, it gets so hot and so humid. I'd probably be looking at that pool, like, it's not looking too bad right now. Like, I might need to jump in. I might need to.
You're going to need to make sure you bring your little portable fan with you.
I know. I have my little fan. It's ready to go. I got to charge it. I got to make sure it's charged. But yeah, and they even have like cabanas and stuff around there. So like it's not really like a traditional track in that like you can like get a cabana and like you're sitting at this like beach pool bar kind of thing. It's like, it's Miami. It's wild. It's crazy. It's out of control.
Oh, 1,000%.
And then in that marina area too, like you can get one of the boats that like they have real boats. They're just on fake water. So you can like sit on one of those boats and like watch the race from there. I'm sure it costs $30,000, but hey, if you got it, why not?
Why
Anyways,
not? Exactly.
But so yeah, it's pretty wild. They have a lot of different like more unique stuff going on as far as the seating and everything like that. So just all around really interesting. And then Miami in general is just like such a party vibe. Yeah, it's Miami.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like great food, good music. Everyone's having a good time. It's hot. It's humid. It's a big party. Mm-hmm. So speaking of humid, the weather this weekend is expected to be the high of mid 80s and a low of the mid 70s. And it's going to be partly cloudy. I know. And it's going to be...
sounds miserable.
It's going to be humid. I can already tell you right now. Growing up there, like, especially this time of the year, during the summer, like, every day. Even if it's not in the forecast, it's probably going to rain between like noon and 2 p.m. Like you're going to get some spotty rain showers that you're not expecting. They're not forecasted because you're right off of the ocean. So like you get all these random like storms that come through. And they're real quick, but we might see some rain. Again, it's not forecasted to rain, but my Floridian sense is telling me it's probably gonna rain.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious. Alex is just like that.
It's well, no, so like my dad would always say, like, and he still says this, like there will be like a rain shower and he'd be like, oh, it's just local. It's just local. So now like whenever I see like rain and it's like sunny outside and it's like randomly raining, I'm like, oh, it's just local. Because like it's just like right there. Like and it'll pass. Like it always does.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
It'll be interesting because around that time that I'm telling you, like it pretty much rains every day around that time, early afternoon, we've got practice is around it's 2:30 Eastern time. And then second practice on Friday is at 6 p.m. So that'll be kind of more representative for the race because the race starts at 5:30 on Sunday.
Okay.
So we should be out of that. It might get a rain shower type situation for the race and for qualifying. We just might see some rain during the practice sessions because FP3 is at 12:30, qualifying's at 4 on Saturday, and then Sundays at the race is at 5:30 p.m. Which is also good because it's not going to be during the hottest hot time during the day.
Yeah.
So, but it's still going to be hot and it's still going to be humid.
You better figure out your
For
hair
sure.
now.
Oh, my hair will be up in a ponytail all weekend because I'm not even going to mess with it. It's going to be in a bun.
Your hair looks good that way.
It's going to be out of my face. I'm telling you right now. Okay. So talking about last year, as far as the results, Max P1, Charles P2, and Carlos was P3. And Charles actually started on pole, and Carlos was in second place at the start. And then right at the first lap, literally the first turn of the first lap, Max had already passed Carlos. And I think by like lap 9, he had passed Charles. And then it was like, it pretty much, smooth running. And everyone kind of maintained their same spots until Lando had a really big crash with Pierre towards the end of the race. And that was like he ended up clipping Pierre like right going into one of the big straights. And he spun out really bad. Like it was a super dramatic crash that caused a VSC. And then obviously Lando was out. And then also Pierre ended up being out. And then after that, Vettel and Schumacher crashed.
Schumacher crashed
into Vettel. Right.
Probably.
Correct. No, you're right. Which ended up taking him out, Vettel, but Schumacher was able to continue. And so all in all, we had 5 DNFs. Zhou DNF'd pretty early in the race. He had an engine issue. And then we talked about Lando and Pierre crashing, and then Vettel. And then also Kevin Magnussen had an issue with his engine. So, yeah.
So a lot happened. Something to look forward to or look out for.
Yeah, it was a very eventful race. So we're going to be excited. We're going to see what happens this weekend. But okay.
So back to about Miami then.
Yes, about Miami in general. So my family's Cuban. There is a huge Cuban influence in Miami. There's an area called Little Havana. So anybody that's going or in the future going to Miami, you have to go to Little Havana. It's like the best food ever. All these little walk up, like little Cuban food spots that are all incredible. Like you cannot go wrong. Obviously you've got your beaches. There's music, there's nightlife, there's a ton of different things going on at any given time. Miami's considered the Latin American capital of the world, which I didn't know. I guess I knew
totally
that.
see
I
that.
didn't really like
With the
know it, but I
port,
knew
everything.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there's so much going on down there. And actually 70% of the population in Miami is Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really funny because in college, I did an internship in Miami, and I lived down there in Coral Gables, and one of my friends lived with me in Coral Gables, and my friend Taylor, you know her, the audience does not, but she looks like she could be Hispanic, but she's not.
Yeah.
And anywhere we went, like we would go to the grocery store, or like she would go by herself, and people in the grocery store, or like wherever you are just in general, like they just speak to you in Spanish like it's the first language. Like they don't speak to you in English. And she used to get so mad because like she would go to the grocery store and she'd be like checking out, and they would be talking to her in Spanish, and she'd be like, I don't speak, like I speak English. And they were like, because they will look like, if you look like you're Hispanic and you don't speak Spanish, they're like, ugh, what's wrong with you?
It's like your family didn't raise you right.
Yes, that's right. So that is literally like everyone speaks Spanish. You get to like, you land there in the airport and you go to buy like a coffee or whatever, and they're talking to you in Spanish. Like English is not happening. But anyway, so very Hispanic, a lot of Hispanic influences. There's a lot of street art and graffiti, and there's a whole area. Another recommendation, Wynwood Walls. It's basically like just this downtown kind of area, and there's a bunch of they hire like professional street art graffiti artists to come and paint these walls, and it changes every once in a while. They'll have different ones, but they're these huge, like basically art installations. Like it's really cool, very colorful. There's also a lot of Art Deco influences and Art Deco architecture. So like one of the places we'll be going this weekend is the Fontainebleau. It's a hotel on Miami Beach, and it's very like from that era. Actually, like before they remodeled it, like Elvis used to go and like hang out there, like
that's kind of cool
back in the day. Yeah, it's super cool. There's a lot of history like that. Also too, if you're a diver, you're into diving of any sort, it is actually the capital of the world's like most diveable shipwreck sites.
Okay.
So there's over 75 diveable shipwrecks like right outside of Miami. So interesting, fun. Some other areas, Biscayne Bay and the Miami Riverwalk. That's always really nice. Like if you're going and staying and not sure where to go, that's a good sure bet. Like you can just show up over there. There's a bunch of shops, restaurants. They usually have like live music outside, and people just walk around and kind of mingle. And there's also the Everglades.
Oh yeah.
You can go to the swamp.
You could do what is those boats called?
An airboat.
Airboat tour.
Yeah, you can definitely do an airboat tour. Gators, all kinds of stuff out there. It's wild and crazy. It's the Everglades, the swamp. So there's something for everyone.
Oh yeah,
I feel like.
Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah. But okay, so as far as menu, here, I'm gonna give some of my recommendations. So this is my favorite like foods that I miss from home. Is basically what this list is. So you gotta have a Cuban sandwich, hands down.
Of course.
Best thing ever. And what's really important is the bread. The bread has to be right. But Cuban sandwich, can't go wrong. It's really good. You will not have an issue with the bread there because everyone has the bread right. Like I go to get a Cuban sandwich here and I'm like, no,
this isn't
it. This isn't it. Like you cannot replicate it. I think it's something in the water. I swear. So anyways, you get your Cuban sandwich for like a lunch vibe. Also for breakfast, I recommend a Cuban toast, which is basically just Cuban bread with butter on it. And then you dip that in your Cuban coffee and you're good to go. It's delicious. It's amazing. But okay, so yuca fries, which is like yuca, just like kind of fried up like a French fry.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. I love fish dip. Just fish dip and crackers. Gotta have it. There is this stone crab place in Miami, Joe's Stone Crabs. It's super famous. It's hard to get into, but like if you can get a reservation and go get stone crabs from this place, like to die for, amazing. I love stone crabs. Fish, a lot of seafood. So I personally I like a mahi mahi blackened fish sandwich. So specific. I'm like getting hungry. Why?
Do you remember last year when we were in Coda and we went out and you were telling me how you catch the mahi mahi?
Yes. So Courtney didn't believe me that I am a fisherwoman. I am.
Are you?
I am. I go fishing. I would go fishing like if you told me not tomorrow because I have plans already, but if you told me next week, like, hey, let's go fishing. Like I would get on a charter boat and go fishing with you. 100%.
Oh my
I would
goodness.
love it. Like I love it. It's so much fun.
No,
But I grew up going fishing, and Courtney didn't believe me that, like, when I was telling her this. And so we had to call
your
my husband.
Like 2 a.m. in the morning.
It was like 2 a.m. and we were like, I was like, Tustin, tell Courtney that I like to go fishing and I catch the mahi. And he was like, what is happening?
He's like, what is wrong with the two of you? Oh gosh.
But yeah,
hilarious.
so my favorite fish is mahi mahi. And I like to
Okay.
catch it because I'm a fisherwoman.
Oh yeah.
She's like, sure. I'm going to take you fishing, Courtney, and you're going to see. I can do the chum. I can bait a hook. I can cast it.
You can
All
do
that.
all of that.
I can do all of that for sure.
That's hilarious.
But okay, so I have a lot of things like on my menu because I miss so much food from home. I'm telling you. Okay. So also like here in Texas, we have HEB and that's like our grocery store, like the best grocery store hands down for us. But in Florida, you have Publix. And Publix is incredible. It's amazing. They do these chicken tenders that are literally my mouth is watering. They're so good. Publix chicken tenders, have to have it. They also make Publix subs, like just like a regular sub sandwich. You can do your chicken tenders on a sub. That is like ultimate sandwich right there. Highly recommend. And then for dessert, key lime pie. You gotta have some key lime pie. Drinks, mojitos, hands down. Gotta have a mojito, a Cuba Libre. Those are always good. There's like a Miami Vice drink. I would be going for a mojito. It's just my favorite. But yeah, and then I already talked about Cuban coffee, but that's for in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's my menu. Those are my suggestions.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah. So
Even though I'm not a big coffee person.
well, and then this like a Cuban coffee would literally like light you on fire. Like especially if you're not a coffee person.
Oh gosh.
And they serve it to you in this tiny little glass. Like it's basically like a little shot. It's like an espresso shot. But my mom has these like, and I'm pretty sure like every Cuban person ever has these little like, instead of doing like a little espresso shot, like they're like this little coffee cup looking thing. And it's like tiny baby.
Yeah.
And you just take a little shot of that. You put sugar in there. You're up all day. I'm telling you right now.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. But okay, do we have any predictions?
No, not yet. I need to see practice round, and then I can feel a little better.
Okay, so I don't really know either. I want to predict that Max is going to, his car is not going to work. I want to
gosh.
predict some bad luck for Max, just in general. But
Every
outside
time
of
we
that,
do, it's a waste.
I know. Why did I just say that? Anyways, but no. Okay, one thing I do, or I am looking forward to seeing, and I do want to predict is, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of like cool, different liveries and stuff for this race, because I know a lot of teams did that last year. I think McLaren had something different going on. I want to say Red Bull did. Maybe Mercedes. I can't remember. But I think we're going to get... I know for sure we're going to get a Red Bull one. Because they talked about that. And then I think it was like a fan selected... Like fans submitted different designs and stuff. And they were going to pick one. But it hasn't been announced yet. But that'll be fun and interesting. So...
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear all about it. And
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be needing my Cuban coffee because I have a packed agenda. Like, we're getting in early tomorrow. We're doing some family stuff. Thursday night, Friday, going to practice. And then we're going to go see Dead Mouse, a DJ. The DJ that has the big head, like a mouse head.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So we're going to go see him Friday night at the Hard Rock Casino that looks like a guitar.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going there. And then we're going on Saturday to practice and qualifying. Okay. And then we're going to go see Martin Garrix, who I'm so excited about seeing because I've never seen him before. And he is like one of my favorite DJs. So Martin Garrix is the one that hangs out with like Lando and Max Verstappen. He's Dutch.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he is playing Saturday night at the Fontainebleau.
Oh. Okay.
So we're going to go see him.
Nice.
Maybe going to see Tiesto that same night, but I can't convince Dustin to do. It's like kind of a lot. I know it's a lot. And then obviously Sunday is the race, and then we come back Monday morning. So we're gonna be exhausted.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be fun.
It is the way it is.
It'll be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. So
well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'll be texting you the whole weekend.
Yeah, no, I'll be sending updates. I'm gonna try to get on our stories and like share some updates and stuff for everyone. So
nice.
Hopefully something exciting happens. And oh my god, yay.
Yes, for sure. So.
Yes. So but yeah, so that is it for today. We'll have to get together and see when we do the recap and stuff, but I'm gonna bring all of my stuff. What?
You could totally have your niece do it with you. If she wants to do it.
I could. Maybe on the car ride back home.
Yeah, I feel like she would really love to do that.
So I'm so excited. Like, she's coming with us on Sunday to the race. Yeah. And she's super excited. Like, she has her Ferrari shirt. She's got a Ferrari hat. Yeah. She's ready to go. My nephew is a Mercedes fan.
Okay. That's fair.
So he's a Mercedes fan, so he's got his little Mercedes shirt and a hat. And he's super excited. He's going to come on Saturday with us. And we're taking her on Sunday because they both have events, like different activities and stuff that they're doing on either day. So they can't come both days, but it worked out like that.
Oh,
but yeah, she's
exciting.
Super excited. Yeah. She's been counting down. But
so
yeah.
cute. Well,
okay. Well, that is it for now. We'll be back with some updates. Until then, you can listen to our episodes anywhere you get your podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all of that good stuff. And we are available with video on Spotify and YouTube. And we're on Instagram at Queens of the Paddock, on Twitter also at Queens of the Paddock, And
look out for posts this weekend.
Yes, we're going to be hitting you with some posts this weekend. So hopefully I don't overflow your feed there, but just live with it. It's going to be fine.
It will make you feel like you're there.
Yes, we're going to be coming in with the behind the scenes looks on things. So, but that is it for today. So thank you for listening. This has been Queens of the Paddock. My name is Alex.
And my name's Courtney, and lights out, and away we go.
Bye.
Bye.
Miami. You need to be doing the Pitbull song.
How does that one go? I can't remember that one.
I'm going to have to cut that out. Que no pare la fiesta. Don't stop the party. Oh my gosh. We're done.
Yes, we are. So.